When we think of the word peace, we often associate it with a kind of quietude, a stillness that comes from having solved or resolved something. But here's the thing, peace doesn't always show up that way. Sometimes it shows up as an inner spaciousness that comes from not forcing something to be other than what it is. We live in a culture that tells us to fix everything, to have a solution for every problem, to always make things better. And this especially applies to ourselves. If we're feeling anxious or upset, we might try to distract ourselves with food or social media or work. We might try to change our environment or the people around us. But all of these things are just attempts to fix ourselves and our experiences. What if peace doesn't come from fixing? What if it comes from something else entirely? In her book, The Wisdom of Insecurity, chronic illness activist and author Pema Chödrön writes, "The most precious quality in a human being is a capacity to be present to what is happening, to be aware of what is happening, to not resist what is happening, to accept what is happening with full awareness and without judgment." She goes on to write, "Acceptance does not imply that we give up. On the contrary, it is the starting point of all healing, all growth, all change." In the Buddhist tradition, there's a concept called sankofa, which literally means to go back and get it, to turn back and look again. It's a reminder to look carefully at what is happening right now. Because when we do, we discover that all of the peace that we've been seeking is already within our grasp. When we're busy trying to change or fix things, we create resistance. We create a barrier between ourselves and the very thing we're trying to attain. But when we let go of our need to control or fix everything, when we surrender to what is, then we open ourselves up to the possibility of peace. Not everything in life can be fixed. Some things are simply beyond our control, like other people, the past, or even the future. Trying to fix these things only leads to exhaustion and anxiety. When we learn to accept things as they are, when we recognize that we can't change them, then we free ourselves from a lot of unnecessary suffering. So where does that leave us? What do we do with all of this extra space that we've created? In her book, Peace from Broken Pieces, author and speaker Nadia Narain writes, "When we stop forcing things and start flowing with life, we return to a state of natural peace. It is in our surrender that we find our strength, our power, and our freedom. Fixing things can be a good thing. It can be an expression of our creativity and ingenuity, and sometimes it's necessary. But it's important to know when to stop. It's important to know when we've done all that we can and to accept things as they are, to surrender to what is." As writer and mystic Alan Watts once said, "We have no right to be anything other than what we are." That includes our experiences. We can't always change our experiences, but we can change our response to them. In that response lies our peace. Acceptance doesn't mean that you like what's happening. It just means that you're recognizing what's happening without resistance. It's saying, this is what's happening now. How do I move forward from here with as much grace as possible? The next time you find yourself in a situation where nothing seems to be going right, where you've tried everything you can think of to fix it and nothing works, maybe it's time to surrender. Maybe it's time to let go of your need to control the outcome and simply accept things as they are. You might be surprised at what you discover. You might just find peace. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.